Hello, friends, and welcome back to Ghouls Night In, the spooky chat show with your best ghoul friends. I'm Penny Snark.
And I'm Midge Munster. And Penny, as you know, I spent Halloween this year in Nolans.
Yes, I did know that.
Which was very, very cool. I don't remember. Have you been to New Orleans?
I have not. It
Okay.
is definitely on my bucket list. I really want to go.
Yeah, this was my first time. I would love to, just out the gate, I'll say, I would love to go back. I was there for a wedding, and so
yeah.
a lot of our activities were doing things revolving around the wedding, which was amazing and fun. But I definitely was not able to do as many things as I would like to do, and
Yeah.
was really pleasantly, surprised. I mean, I've always wanted to go. I didn't think that I wouldn't like it, but I went to Savannah last year, Georgia, and I was kind of okay. I was like, oh, yeah, that's okay, cool. And I kind of thought maybe that this would be a very similar experience. As I've had a lot of people say oh, you'll love Savannah. It's like all the things people love about New Orleans without any of the things people hate about New Orleans. And I didn't find that to be true at all. New Orleans is one and poppin'. And being there on Halloween was super cool. Of course, people dress the hell up.
Amazing.
I got to just walk down Bourbon Street on Halloween night and see everybody in these crazy costumes. It was a lot of fun. But my favorite thing that I got the opportunity to do, the thing I told my family, I was like, I don't care if everything we do is wedding related stuff, but the one thing I have to do is see a historic cemetery. It's the one.
You gotta.
The one thing I will be miffed if I don't get to do it. And I did. And it was one of my favorite historic cemetery experiences I have ever had, and that's saying something, because I have at this point been to many all across the United States.
You are an expert.
Well, maybe not quite that.
An expert in visiting historic cemeteries. I mean, you've seen enough to be this one's
is a good
top
one.
tier.
Yeah. That's a good cemetery. But yeah, if you have not been to the cemeteries in this region, they are special, and so I want to talk a bit about that today.
Ooh, yay.
Yahoo!
I love to talk about a cemetery.
I figured I wouldn't have to,
twist my arm.
Persuade you to
historic cemetery.
No,
I don't know about that.
Don't make me talk about it.
It's very don't throw me in the briar patch.
I was thinking of a Kristen Wiig, don't make me sing.
Yes.
But so what is special about New Orleans cemeteries? Most obvious thing, above ground burial.
Crazy.
This is something, of course, that we have seen across different eras and cultures. New Orleans is certainly not the first place to participate in above ground burial. Some of the most obvious and early examples would be prehistoric cave burials, and the Egyptian pyramids, of course, are also above ground tombs. But these are some of the more recent examples, as these practices are still being observed in New Orleans to this day. And their cemeteries are often referred to as cities of the dead, which slay.
So slay.
And they look like little neighborhoods, and not little actually at all. Let me walk back on that. So we drove to New Orleans, and upon entering the city, you are just inundated with cemeteries all around you.
Yeah.
The outskirts of because as y'all know, cemeteries are frequently put on the outskirts of towns to put away bodies with disease and things away from the general population. But in this instance, we're talking some of these cemeteries have 20,000 plots or more in them, and so they are absolutely massive. You can see them from an airplane. Like, they are entire neighborhoods, street infrastructure with these little death houses. And the main reason, though, that I want to talk about this is why. Why here? Why are we doing this in New Orleans? Well, a few reasons. First of which being geography. When the French originally settled in New Orleans in the early 18th century, the city, it's surrounded by bodies of water. You can't go one way or the other without hitting water in New Orleans. You've got the Mississippi River, you've got Lake Pontchartrain, which, just as a little aside here, was very exciting to see Lake Pontchartrain.
I am such a Lake Pontchartrain fan.
I am a nerd about Lake Pontchartrain. And if any of you are fellow Ludo fans, the band Ludo has a great song called Lake Pontchartrain that's very spooky, scary, and that was a favorite of mine in like late high school. So I turned it on my little headphones while we were crossing the bridge, and I was having a little spooky nerd moment. But yeah, they are just surrounded by water, and because of that, New Orleans has a very high water table. And so if you dig down just a foot or two, boom, water.
Ooh, there you go.
Bam, water. And that, of course, makes it difficult to bury someone.
Yeah, not great for graves.
Nope. The title of the episode, not great for graves. But of course, now that did not stop people from doing earth burials. There are several historic cemeteries in New Orleans that are traditional is a tricky word, but like what we think of as a lawn cemetery with ground burial. Mm-hmm. But what can happen with flooding and things is that bodies can be displaced very easily. Coffins can come sticking up out of grounds. Unfortunately, we saw many examples of this during Hurricane Katrina, where coffins were just swept away completely. And so there, are some issues here. There's also, this is crazy work. I found this was a thing I came across and was like, huh? There's written record of St. Louis Cemetery number 1, which is the oldest cemetery in New Orleans, and many of you might know it because it's the final resting place of the voodoo priestess Marie Laveau. But that apparently it was a crawfish habitat.
Well,
during the time that it was established in 1794, and around this time there were like a lot of crawfish right in that area, and so there was some concern about crawfish infesting the bodies.
I feel like crawfish would love that.
Yeah. There was specifically this writing, I can't remember his name, Pintard or something, but he was talking about like, the crawfish eat us and then we eat the crawfish. Like it's repugnant.
It's the circle of life.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. But I guess must not be a concern anymore, because that surely is where Nicolas Cage's big old pyramid is.
There you go.
St. Louis number 1. Anyway, water, an issue. But it is really not one of the main reasons it is a main reason, but there's a larger thing at play here as to why the cemeteries in New Orleans look like this. And when New Orleans was founded in 1718, it was run by French people and Spanish people. It was not purchased and incorporated into the U.S. until 1803.
Wow.
So lots of culture happening here. And both France and Spain had been under Roman rule for hundreds of years. So they had adopted Roman burial practices, which included above-ground tombs. So not just a high water table, but also cultural traditions that played a role here.
Both practical and cultural.
Yeah. And of course, you can find lots of different, French, Spanish, African, Caribbean, Creole, so many cultures at play here in New Orleans, and it's reflected in the burial practices and everything, the music, the food, the best food. Oh my God. Y'all, this has nothing to do with cemeteries, but New Orleans has some of the best food I've ever eaten in my life. Oh my God. Anywho, so we visited the Metairie Cemetery, which shout out to Dixie Witch Void, if any of y'all follow this, the pink-haired goth goddess of New Orleans. I had reached out to her and said, like, hey, I have basically a day where I can go do something. If you could only see one cemetery, which one are you going to? And she was like, go to Metairie. It's definitely the most grand. Of course, it's also the most wealthy. But, like, it was holy hell, y'all. This was the most beautiful cemetery I think I've ever been to. But I wasn't I knew kind of what the cemeteries looked like, but I didn't, going in, really know a lot about their burial practices or anything. And so Taylor and I are walking down these rows, and I said out loud to him, wow, they look like ovens. Well, surprise.
Well.
They kind of are. Not in the traditional sense, of course, because there is no cremation happening inside. And in fact, cremation was not allowed by the Catholic Church and wouldn't be until 1963. So we have a lot of bodies. We're in an era of epidemics with yellow fever, cholera, what have you. We can't dig into the ground. What do we do? How do we bury our people? So what they do is build these tombs that have a feature that are called oven crypts. And these are like little slots or niches that you put the coffin in. The facade of it quite literally looks like a brick pizza oven. And you insert the coffin in there and seal it up. And the rule of the city was 1 year and 1 day. The body remained in the vault. And then, because I guess there were a few different things I found about this. Way back in the times, apparently that was the amount of time they believed that all the, like, disease and germs and gross would be off of the body. Because, again, when you're looking at things like yellow fever, they didn't want to mess with remains that might be contaminated. So 1 year and a day, you can open the vault, dispose of the coffin. These were usually like wood, pretty simple, straightforward, nothing, not our traditional like now caskets. But they would burn the coffin in the earlier times. And then you sweep up all the little remains and shove them to the back of the vault and make room for the next body.
There you go.
I had also set, again, with the 1 year and 1 day marker, was also to make sure that each body basically saw a full Louisiana summer. Because these oven structures of the crypts that are all brick and have the curved brick ceiling, the natural heat and humidity of the area makes for a quick decomposition process. The inside of these crypts on a hot summer day can reach up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature.
Dang.
Yeah. So quite literally, like, it's so I saw somebody refer to it as slow cooker cremation, which is awful but funny.
Yeah, but not wrong.
Not wrong. Because what you end up with at the end of 1 year and 1 day is desiccated remains it's basically just a skeleton left in there, and all the organic matter has either been eaten up by bugs or been burnt away. And then also that and a day part I read was ceremonial in the sense of it was considered disrespectful to disinter the remains on the anniversary of the person's burial. Sure. So we wait one more day to shove their skeleton into the back of the vault.
Probably because you made the pizza oven comparison, but I'm definitely picturing, like, you know, the big pizza paddles.
Yeah, the paddle.
And just being like, just slide them on back.
Pretty much. They did have, like a little sweeper pole thing, just push them on back. Yeah. Now, if you were a person who had a single family crypt, which if you're looking at photos of cemeteries, that's probably what you're seeing, the little houses. I also felt really stupid. I had the epiphany. I was like, oh my God, it looks like Zero's house from Nightmare Before Christmas. And I was like, yeah, that's on purpose, huh? That's literally the design choice. Cool. So if you haven't seen this, picture Zero's house from Nightmare Before Christmas. And
it is always fun when you, like, make the connection where you're like, oh, this is what you're referencing.
Literally.
Oh, I see.
I felt really dumb because I was like, yeah, he has a little doghouse with a cross on top. Interesting. But yeah, very, very, very cool design. Lots of different designs across the way these tombs look. But most of them, if they are those little houses like that, are a single family residence.
Yes.
And there is kind of a decomposition chamber where you would put the remains of the most recently deceased person. And then when they hit that year in the day mark, there is a lot of these have a chute in the back where
I was literally going to ask.
Well, what you know about the chute, Penny?
You gotta have a chute. Well, because when you were like, oh yeah, and you push it back and you put the next one in, I'm like, it's gonna get awfully crowded back there. Like, if these are for families, there must be some antechamber.
Yes,
where all the bones go.
There surely is.
You were correct. There's a chute. There's a bone chute.
There's a bone chute, and the bottom receiving vault is called a caveau, which is French for little cave. But yeah,
this is just my little bone cave.
My little caveau. So yeah, underneath you push that back, and there is just a little cave full of bones under there.
I love it.
With everybody's bones just kind of on top of each other.
Yeah, mixing and mingling. It's a
family affair
here.
Yeah,
we're all family. When you're here, you're family.
Caveau, when you're here, you're family.
You're family.
Which is, probably not great for most people. I feel like most people have at least one person in their family they don't want their bones mingled.
Yeah, that's fair. You just be like, don't let cousin Dave come in the caveau.
But this is the most private version of this. Mm-hmm. So some of these tombs have like up to 85 people in them. It's crazy. And that, what's the word that I'm looking for? The slab. Return the slab.
Return the slab.
It is the covering slab for the decomposition chamber is the thing that gets updated. So you'll just see this like running list of engravings on these that have the names and dates of every person buried there. Which is bonkers, by the way. Like, to see it in person, like some of these tombs start in, 83, the first person was buried, and then they have somebody that was buried in like 2007. Like, dang. It's wild to just see like an entire lineage laid out like that. But I could not find anything about this. I searched several places, so somebody let me know, because there are people currently who have family tombs in New Orleans. So holler at your girl and tell me if you know. Because I was like, what happens if there are multiple family members that pass in the same year?
Oh, yeah.
Because
you only got one oven slot.
One slot, one opportunity. And that had to happen, though, right? Like, especially when you're talking about things like epidemic and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Surely more than one person needed to be in there at a time.
Yeah, or like overlap. Like if you have to wait a year and a day, like if someone dies within the year.
Yeah, what happens?
Do you just...
I don't know if there's like a enough room for a stacking situation? Surely not. Anyway,
but you would think you wouldn't want to open it because it's doing its process.
Right. I will say
the time
though,
you don't want to go in there.
They are not airtight for the same reason that coffins are not airtight.
Sure.
To allow for gas exchange. So I guess it wouldn't probably hurt anything, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt anything. I was just like, it's kind of grody.
Oh, for sure. But so is dumping people's bones out of a coffin and sweeping them together. So I'm sure the people whose job that was saw a lot of shit.
That's fair.
But yeah, let me know if you guys know what the deal is on that. My best guess is that maybe they would have used one of the wall crypts. And so let's get into the other option if you didn't have a family crypt. So in some of the older cemeteries, like St. Louis number 1, where there were less affluent burials taking place, there are the entire exterior walls of the cemetery have communal oven crypts. And they're stacked 3 to 4 high and across the whole wall. And these were reusable communal spaces, often maintained by some sort of fraternity or benevolent society of some sort, where anybody could be placed in there. And we see this throughout history in death culture in general. Things like family tombs and crypts are associated with status and wealth. So a lot of working class people didn't have access to that. And when you can't, it's not, I mean, we do have potter's fields and things, but
yeah,
there's some risks associated with that, to say the least. So these communal oven crypts kind of became a way for everyone to get the dignity of a proper burial. And so that's my best guess, is maybe if you had multiple family members, somebody could go on the wall until they were ready, and then you could move them home. But for those who were interred here and did not have anywhere to go as a final place, they would bag you up when you were done and then place you to the back of this little niche. And I don't, there's the walls, and then there's also communal tombs that are more 6 high and 3 wide on each side, 4-sided structures. And those, I think, have the chute situation going on, so you can put a lot of people in there. But the walls, from what I understood, you could repeat that process in a niche about 4 to 5 times of having everybody in little bags pushed back, and then they would decommission and seal that niche once it kind of had run its course. Not all of them have this, but many of these little wall crypts have plaques placed over them on the decommissioned tombs that list everybody who is buried inside. And I don't know, I find this interesting because I think a lot of people would probably see this as almost disrespectful in some ways to have strangers kind of a communal burying space. But I think this is, I don't know, kind of a testament to the community of this city that these spaces became provided and available for people to have a resting place. And in some way, I don't know, in some ways I think it's a little bit more dignified than a potter's field or, something like that. Just because they have a name listed and they have an actual place to go visit if someone wanted to, or for people to remember them. And this, again, is very Roman. The Romans did this also, had societies that built communal burial spaces for people who didn't have the money to do big, flashy tombs.
It's it's making me think, I'm like, oh, it's like the death version of those hotels in Japan where it's just like a little nook that you just crawl in, and you just go in your little nook and you're like, this is all I need. I don't need a whole room. Like, this is fine. This is what I can afford. Just put me in my nook. So I think that's fine. And I mean, if you are like, yeah, just me and some of my neighbors are gonna hang out in this nook.
Yeah, I it's interesting. Obviously, there's a part of me that's like, capitalism, yeah. Eat the rich. So like walking around this, like Metairie in particular, walking around this like extreme display of wealth, you know?
Yeah.
And of course you're looking at beautiful architecture. I mean, a lot of neoclassicism, Egyptian revival, just beautiful different forms of masonry work and architecture. But yeah, it's also this weird like F you, we can take it with us.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but then there's also part of me
dramatic displays of wealth in service of the dead
in perpetuity. But then also like at the same time, I'm like, well, but thank goodness I get to walk around here. This is so beautiful. So I don't know. I never know how I feel about these very like grandiose cemeteries. But I will say, if you are making your way down to New Orleans, definitely take time. I did not get to I wanted to do the tour of St. Louis, number one, because I know there is a lot of like rich history of like Haitian culture and voodoo culture and Creole culture associated with that cemetery that I just didn't get to experience. But I would, definitely recommend taking the time to go really appreciate these cemeteries if you're going to go, because I had never seen anything like it. And I thought I knew what to expect. And then when you're really met with it's something else. Oh, also, I accidentally happened upon Anne Rice's grave.
Hey!
And I thought of you.
Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, she got a big old,
I bet she did.
Big old crypt. Very, very cool. And we were on Halloween weekend, so there was Anne Rice's Vampires Ball happening, and so a bunch of people, of course, had left like flowers and gifts and things for her, and that was cool to see. But yeah, I just wanted to chat a little bit. This isn't a terribly long episode, but I learned so much, and I wanted to share it with y'all. I hope you learned something new about these burial practices. And like I said, let me know if you happen to be a person who whose family like has a burial plot like this, and like are you getting put in the family vault? Let us know. I'm so curious to know if this is like something people our age are still, participating in.
And see now I'm also like, well, what if instead of like a family vault, what if we had like the ghouls vault?
Yeah.
And, like because you could just hang out with your pod friends for the rest of eternity in your little cave.
This is the start of Penny and I's like Oddfellows society. That's just for spooky queers.
Yes. Let's all get buried together, you guys.
Hey guys, let's get buried.
Let's all be bones together. I want to go down the bone chute with you.
I love that lyric from Halloween Crowd. I want to go down the bone chute with you.
If we have Mr. He, if you ever want a guest verse, let us know.
That's awesome. Well, thank y'all for listening. I hope you had a spooky Halloween. I hope you had a fun time, and also give Penny and I suggestions for when I go back and she gets to go to New Orleans, what other things do we need to see? Because I definitely need to spend more time there and see more things. So start helping
spooky stuff,
helping us build our list, and maybe we'll do a ghouls trip out there.
Yes, I would love that.
If you are enjoying this podcast and you would like to have kind of a living version of a family crypt, you can join us over on Discord.
Hey, Discord is our family crypt.
That's our family crypt, and we'd love to have you be a part of it. It's our communal oven crypt space, and you can find a link for that in the show notes, or also over in the description, I believe, on our Instagram, which is at Ghouls Night In Pod. And if you enjoy what we do here, we would love it so much if you would leave us a rating or a review wherever you listen. If you can't leave it where you listen, you can also send it to us in a DM on that Instagram page, and we will make sure that it gets read aloud dramatically here. I believe we may be out of fresh, hot reviews right now.
We tragically are. We are out of fresh, hot reviews, but we have gotten lots of very kind comments on Spotify, so thank you for everyone. We got a lot of people were very excited that we talked about Phantom of the Opera. Had a lot of Phantom fans, and I did want to share, I thought you would appreciate, we did get a comment from Felicia Happy Camper on our Haunted by Proxy episode, who says, "My 4-year-old is obsessed. He constantly asks if he can go to the Island of Dolls." Which I love. You gotta start him young.
Raising him right. Yeah, that's amazing. We'll get him there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we love to see those comments too. You can leave comments on Spotify or on, of course, the Instagram posts. I think Podbean also lets you leave comments if you hang out with us there. So, yeah, leave us comments. We love to read them. It's very fun to see you all interact with the episodes and see, how it affects your daily lives. And if you would like to keep in touch with me, you can find me all over the web at Midge Munster.
And you can find me at Penny Snark.
And until next time, goodbye.